X, stop hating, man. Get your mind right, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad because I'm doing what I'm doing right now, man. Get your mind right, dog. Get your mind.
You know who the fuck I'm talking to, nigga. You only alive because of me, motherfucker. You only alive because of me. Yeah, remember Chicago. That's all I'ma say, Lo. Remember Chicago, nigga.
What's up with the Ja Rule shit, man? I mean, I know y'all been going back at it for a while.
Still, I don't fuck with that nigga, son. I don't fuck with that nigga. And like, you know, for what it's worth, yo, he needed to thank me. Thank me, son. Thank me. Don't talk shit about me. Thank me. Thank me.
DMX once said, "I never had beef. If I had beef with Ja Rule, man, there wouldn't be a Ja Rule." And he wasn't bluffing. Things got so real that Ja Rule nearly lost his life over that tension. DMX had some serious street pull, especially with one of the most feared crews back then, the Latin Kings. He was tight with their leader, Kato.
Got some bad news. Kato's dead, man.
What?
Yeah, Kato's dead, man.
You can't be serious, man.
Like brothers. They were so close that after Kato was murdered, DMX even made a tribute track in his memory. So when the tension between him and Ja Rule exploded, DMX didn't just talk, he made moves. He called in the Latin Kings to send a message, and that's when Ja Rule really felt the danger closing in. But that wasn't the end of it all. DMX started dragging Ja Rule's name through the mud, exposing his dirty little secrets for the world to hear. Just like with his other rap battles, Ja found himself surrounded, taking hits from every side.
You know he be fucking niggas too, right?
No.
Yeah, man, some nigga that was styling his clothes and shit. I got the inside information, man. Some nigga that was styling his clothes for one of them shows, got him ecstasy that one night and fucked him. All those fucking niggas, I'm telling you, dog. Oh my mama. Oh my mama.
It was chaos, and the streets were watching every move. Now, let's rewind a bit, because before all that madness, DMX and Ja Rule were actually cool. Yeah, they were friends. DMX even helped Ja rise up in the game. Early in Ja's grind, he used to be DMX's hype man, turning up crowds and soaking in that wild stage energy.
You never felt you needed a hype man or wanted a hype man?
Actually, my first hype man was Ja Rule.
I can bring it from up here. Enough is enough. Down to height, I think it's safe to take off the cuffs. I play with words, slurs to slurs, flip style.
Oh, I thought it was dragging on.
Nope.
Their bond grew even tighter when Ja got his deal at Def Jam, thanks to Irv Gotti.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
Irv Gotti,
you know,
we shooting this video, and of course, my brother.
always.
Who was cooking up something big behind the scenes as both producer and exec. Irv had a vision for Def Jam, and Ja Rule was a major part of it. Ja's first solo drop on Wax came on November 28, 1995, when Mike Geronimo released Time to Build. That track, produced by Irv, featured a young Ja Rule, Jay-Z, and DMX, three hungry rappers on the come-up. Fast forward to 1997, DMX finally signed his own deal with Def Jam, joining forces with Ja and Jay-Z. Together, with Irv Gotti leading the charge, they were shaping up to be one of the hottest rap trios in the game. They were turning into a serious force in the game. Irv Gotti even built his own label under Def Jam called Murder Inc. Records, and Ja Rule was the star face of the whole movement. DMX and Ja kept cooking together too. On November 4th, 1997, they linked up again on Mike Geronimo's joint Usual Suspects, showing off that same electric chemistry they had on stage. But the vibe started shifting fast. By May 19th, 1998, DMX dropped It's Dark and Hell is Hot, a debut that changed hip-hop overnight. That album was a monster, moving over 250,000 copies in his first week. Suddenly, DMX wasn't just another rapper, he was the guy. His name was ringing everywhere, and that's when the tension started to brew. Just months later, on December 22nd, 1998, X came right back with another hit album, Flesh of My Blood, Blood of My Blood. That project had the fire track Blackout with Jay-Z, but there was also another one, We Don't Give a F, where X dropped a few slick subliminal shots at Ja Rule. That was the first real sign that things between them were getting heated. Meanwhile, Ja Rule was plotting his solo takeover. On March 2nd, 1999, he unleashed Holla Holla, a raw, high-energy banger that took off like wildfire. The track climbed to number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100 and had the streets buzzing. But as the song got bigger, fans, industry heads, and even DMX himself started pointing out how Ja's style, his voice, his growl, his delivery sounded a lot like DMX. It was like he borrowed from his whole playbook. The tension hit a breaking point when Ja Rule set up the video shoot for Holla Holla. He invited both DMX and Jay-Z to pull up, but at the last minute, they backed out. According to Ja, it felt like they thought they were too big to show up for him.
I never had a problem with Jay's success, never had a problem with X's success. You know, I rooted for them, I cheered for them, you know, but I never got the same love in return. It was one of those things like, I guess they was too big to be in my video.
And that move cut deep. It lit a fire in him to prove he could win on his own, no cosigns needed. But DMX didn't see it that way. To him, it was straight disrespect, like Ja had turned his back on him and was out here copying his whole vibe.
I really wanted to get away from them two and show the world that I don't need them two to make hit records. You understand? Like, I don't need them two to make myself a success.
That's when things went from tension to full-blown beef. Then, on June 1st, 1999, Ja Rule dropped his debut studio album, Veni Vidi Vici. It exploded onto the charts, landing at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and selling 185,000 copies in his first week. And on that same album was the legendary track It's Murder, featuring both Jay-Z and DMX, one final moment of unity before it all fell apart. At first, it looked like the trio was still solid. DMX, Ja Rule, and Jay-Z were moving like a power team, but nobody knew that their track It's Murder would be the last time DMX and Ja Rule ever shared a song together. Just a month later, XXL magazine dropped a huge cover featuring the three of them, hyping up what was supposed to be a rap supergroup called Murder Inc. They even hit the studio and recorded a few joints together, but behind the scenes, cracks were already forming, especially between DMX and Ja Rule. DMX couldn't shake the feeling that Ja was straight up biting his sound. The energy had changed and the friendship didn't feel the same. Then came what's now known as the Florida incident, a story that showed just how tense things had gotten during the 1999 Hard Knocks Life tour. So, here's what went down. DMX, Ja Rule, Memphis Bleek, and Lenny C were cruising through Florida when they got pulled over by the cops. After some words were exchanged between X and the officer, they ended up ditching the car and walking down the side of the road. Out of nowhere, a fan pulled over and offered them a ride. DMX hopped in the front seat while Ja and the others piled into the back. The fan looked at DMX and immediately said something wild. She started talking about that rapper who sounds just like you. She didn't even realize Ja was sitting right behind her. She kept going in saying how this copycat was trying too hard, all while Ja was right there listening. X tried to keep things chill and quickly shushed her, motioning towards the back seat like, yo, he's right there. You can only imagine how awkward and tense that moment must have been. Ja never forgot that ride. It stuck with him. From then on, the friendship between them just wasn't the same.
DMX, Ja Rule, Memphis Bleek, and Lenny S is on the side of the f***ing highway.
Yeah, we walking, we ain't standing. Just by ourselves, boom. I said, yo, could you take a shit? Like, yeah, come on. Get in the car, them three in the back, I'm in the front.
Around that same time, DMX started feeling like Ja was switching up, like he was getting too big, too Hollywood. X even said Ja stopped showing love and wasn't acting like the same dude he came up with. One story he told was about a night in a LA club. Both of them were there, but Ja didn't even walk over to say what's up. That moment hit DMX hard, like Ja was straight up ignoring him. By the end of 2000, the distance between them was impossible to hide. Then, on December 5th, 2000, Funkmaster Flex dropped 16 minutes of Funk Volume 1, and what happened next would pour even more gas on the fire between these two legends. On the track Do You, DMX fired a bold shot straight at Ja Rule. He basically called him out, saying Ja was out here pretending to be him, and that trying to copy his style would never take him far.
The best to go for, what you know can't do you, and what you flow for. You ain't gonna get there trying to be me.
The message was loud and clear. X wasn't about to let anyone run off with his identity. Fast forward to mid-2002, and the tension was far from cooling down. DJ Clue dropped The Professional Part 3, but what really had people talking was DJ K. Slay's Regulator, the final chapter. That mixtape featured a DMX track titled War, sometimes listed as They Want War, and X wasn't holding back at all. The lyrics were sharp, direct, and aimed right at Ja Rule. It was clear that DMX was done with subliminals. He wanted all the smoke. By August 2002, things reached a breaking point. Reporters and radio hosts kept pressing DMX with questions about Ja Rule, and you could tell it was pushing his patience. One day, he finally snapped. DMX called into Power 105.1 and went off. He said straight up that it was going down between him and Ja Rule. No more pretending like everything was cool. Not long after, Ja Rule clapped back by calling into Hot 97. He fired shots of his own, mocking DMX by calling him Crack Man X, and bragged that DMX couldn't touch him, lyrically or otherwise.
We're talking about DMX, Crack Man X, okay? This is out of line, and it's hurting him right now that I'm bigger than him. It's killing him right now that I'm bigger than him.
The airwaves were lit with drama, and everyone in hip-hop was tuned in to hear what came next. That's when things got even messier. Irv Gotti jumped into the chaos by calling into the same station and backing up Ja Rule. He said Ja Rule had every right to defend himself and to diss DMX if he wanted to. But that didn't sit right with X, who was out in LA filming a movie at the time. When he caught wind of Irv's comments, he dialed into another radio station and told Irv straight up to stay in his lane. According to DMX, this was between him and Ja Rule, no one else. Then, X dropped something that shocked everybody. He said there was a deeper reason behind his issues with Ja Rule, that Ja was hiding something personal about his lifestyle, hinting at rumors about him being involved with men.
You know he be fucking niggas too, right?
No.
Yeah, man, some nigga that was styling his clothes and shit. I got the inside information, man. Some nigga that was styling his clothes for one of them shows, got him ecstasy that one night and fucked him. Ja Rule was fucking niggas, I'm telling you, dog. Oh, my mama.
It was a serious accusation that took their feud into darker, more personal territory. And DMX didn't stop there. He was just getting started. Around that time, DMX started speaking out loud about what he really thought was happening behind the curtains of the music industry. He wasn't scared to call it how he saw it, talking about shady record execs, secret deals, and how some artists were doing anything to blow up, even if it meant compromising themselves.
What's going down with the industry, dog?
The industry is full of a bunch of dick-sucking, dick-riding, bending over the desk ass niggas, straight up like that. Whoever don't like it, bring it, nigga. Bring it. I don't give a fuck. Bring it.
Well, the industry is full of homo hating ass niggas.
People weren't ready for the truth bombs DMX was dropping. He even threw some of those ideas into his lyrics. On his track Where the Hood At, X rapped, "Last I heard, y'all dudes was having S with the same S. I show no love to homo for."
Last I heard, that niggas was having sex with the same sex. I show no love.
That line shook the industry. Fans and insiders couldn't stop dissecting what he really meant by it. And years later, some people started coming forward with stories that made DMX's claims sound a little too real. One of the wildest stories came from Gene Deal, a former bodyguard for Diddy. According to Gene, one night, Diddy had supposedly bought a bunch of adult toys, then headed to a hotel room with a well-known rapper. Gene says while he was guarding the door, a man came up asking about his coat, and that man happened to be Ja Rule. Gene told him Ja's in the room with Puff and he doesn't want to be disturbed, but the guy wouldn't listen, so he had to physically calm him down.
So I opened the door and the dude said, "Yo, I'm here for my cousin." I said, "Who your cousin?" And he said, Ja Rule.
Not long after, Gene claims both Diddy and Ja Rule stepped out of the room wrapped in towels, looking awkward and off.
When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked.
The scene had people talking non-stop. Suddenly, everyone started wondering if DMX's feud with Ja was deeper than music or flow jacket. Maybe it was personal or even tied to something darker behind the scenes. By then, the friendship between DMX and Ja Rule was completely dead. What started as subtle tension had turned into full-blown hostility, real street-level drama. Things went from words to action, and it got scary fast. One day, DMX was just chilling in his office. His wife and young son were there too. It was supposed to be a calm, regular day, but the moment X stepped out of the building, chaos hit. Ja Rule allegedly pulled up with about 30 guys, deep squad. They stormed the office looking for DMX, according to what X later said. Ja had supposedly waited for X to leave before showing up, trying to make it look like he was running things and flexing in front of everyone. He wanted people to believe he was really about that street life. But DMX wasn't fooled. He saw right through that act. To him, it was pure showmanship, a stunt to look tough in front of the crew. After that incident, the feud hit a new boiling point. The tension was no longer just about rap or respect. It was about pride, ego, and revenge. And soon after, things would spill out into public again. This time at the airport, where the confrontation between DMX and Ja Rule got even more intense. The beef had officially gone from music to madness. Not long after all that chaos, fate brought DMX and Ja Rule face to face again, this time at the Chicago airport. There was no dodging it, no bodyguards to separate them, just raw tension in the air. Ja spotted X and walked straight up to him, demanding answers. He wanted to know why X had turned cold, why he wasn't showing love anymore. But X wasn't about to sit there and explain himself. He stepped right up in Ja's face and things got heated fast. Voices were raised, tempers flared, and X started barking at Ja like only he could. The energy was explosive. After the confrontation cooled off a bit, DMX wasn't done. He made a few calls to some heavy street contacts out in Chicago. Word is, he got in touch with the local head of the Latin Kings and told him to post up. A few hours later, when Ja Rule was set to leave the airport, the parking lot was loaded, 10 cars deep, full of people ready to move if things went sideways.
In a hotel at the airport, on my way to Chicago, my nigga Kato. Nigga was the head of Latin Kings, yo. Head Latin King.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Top dog. You know
That's crazy.
Every time I came to Chicago, so they had 10 trucks at the airport waiting for me.
DMX had the place locked down. Ja Rule, on the other hand, wasn't rolling with a big crew. He only had 1 or 2 people with him, if that. When he walked out and saw that line of cars waiting, the tension hit hard. He knew exactly what time it was. The energy shifted from pride to panic real quick. DMX had the upper hand. He could have made that night end very differently. But instead of letting things go too far, DMX made a move that surprised everyone. He decided to let Ja walk away. Later he said he spared him that night, let him live to see another day. It was a statement, not just of power, but of control. X had made his point without even having to lift a finger. After that close call, the beef shifted from the streets back to the music. On November 19, 2002, Ja Rule dropped his 4th studio album, The Last Temptation, and on 2 of the tracks, he sent direct lyrical shots at DMX, proving the war wasn't over, it just moved back on the wax. Then, just a few months later, on February 18, 2003, the soundtrack for the movie Cradle to Grave dropped. The film starring DMX and Jet Li. X was shining in Hollywood, while the beef still lingered in the background, and hip-hop fans everywhere were watching to see who would strike next. On the Cradle to Grave soundtrack came one of the coldest diss tracks of that whole era, Go to Sleep, featuring DMX, Eminem, and Obi Tree. The entire song was basically aimed straight at Ja Rule's head. Every verse was packed with venom. DMX came raw, M came ruthless, and Obi piled on. The track made it crystal clear Ja Rule was the target, and the industry was taking sides. But that wasn't the end of the heat. Not long after that, DJ K Slay and Big Mike dropped their mixtape Go Harder, Go Home. And guess who popped up again? DMX. This time with a track called Rule Doubt. Once again, he went directly at Ja Rule's neck. Another diss, another warning shot. The feud was like a fire that refused to burn out. Every few months, one of them would drop something new, fanning the flames all over again. By the time 2004 came around, the tension between DMX and Ja Rule was still thick, even if things looked calm on the surface. Fans thought maybe the beef had cooled down, but X wasn't finished talking. That year, he sat down with Tim Westwood TV in the UK, and he went off. He didn't bite his tongue for a second. At one point, DMX flat out said the only reason Ja Rule is still breathing is because he let him live. That bold claim was a direct throwback to the infamous Chicago airport showdown, the night DMX had a parking lot full of cars and people waiting outside, ready to move if things popped off. According to X, he had Ja right where he wanted him, but decided to walk away instead.
You know who the fuck I'm talking to, nigga. You only alive because of me, motherfucker. You only alive because of me. Yeah, remember Chicago. That's all I'ma say, Lo. Remember Chicago, nigga.
It became part of the legend. X's way of saying he had the power to end it, but chose to rise above it. Still, while DMX was fiery on the mic and fearless in interviews, behind the scenes, things starting to get rough. Later that same year, 2004, DMX found himself in deep legal trouble. He was arrested and hit with a long list of charges: drug possession, criminal impersonation, menacing, and even pretending to be a federal agent. To make things even wilder, reports said he tried to carjack someone during the incident. It was pure chaos, like the real-life version of one of his wildest lyrics. The situation spiraled fast, and on November 18, 2005, DMX was sentenced to 70 days in Rikers Island. It felt like rock bottom, but something unexpected happened while he was locked up. Irv Gotti, yes, the same Irv who had stood by Ja Rule during the beef, decided to visit X in jail. He said he was done with all the drama and wanted to end the feud once and for all. Surprisingly, DMX listened and agreed. That was the moment everything shifted. The war was over, time moved on, and the old wound started to fade. Fast forward a few years later to July 31st, 2009, Ja Rule dropped his mixtape, The Mirror. And on one of the tracks, Judas, he finally addressed DMX directly. It wasn't angry, it was more like a reflection on everything that had gone down between them. After all the fights, disses, and near disasters, the story of DMX and Ja Rule had come full circle, a wild ride that defined the era in hip-hop forever. When Ja Rule dropped Judas on the Mirror mixtape, it felt different, less like a diss and more like reflection. He wasn't throwing shots anymore. He was acknowledging the past, sharing his thoughts on everything he and DMX had been through. It was a rare moment of honesty, a reminder of how deep their history ran and how much it has shaped them both. Then came a moment that every real hip-hop fan, especially the old heads, will never forget. On September 23, 2009, during VH1's Hip Hop Honor Ceremony, DMX and Ja Rule ended up in the same building again. The cameras caught it all, the two embracing, laughing, and finally putting their beef to rest for good. It was one of those powerful moments where hip-hop showed growth and maturity instead of violence and ego. And it didn't stop there. Just a few months later, they actually got back in the booth together. Both of them hopped on NORE's track, Stay Flawless, proving that the past was truly behind them. The tension, the rumors, the drama, it was all gone. The beef that once had the rap world watching closely had finally burned out, leaving only respect and history behind. From that point on, whenever either one of them mentioned the other in interviews, it came from a place of mutual love and understanding. They'd both been through fire, survived it, and came out stronger. What once was chaos turned into closure, and that's rare in this game. Sadly, on April 9th, 2021, hip-hop lost one of its most powerful and passionate voices. DMX passed away after suffering a heart attack reportedly caused by an overdose. The world stopped to grieve, and Ja Rule was no exception. He posted a heartfelt message on Instagram, paying his respects to the man who had once been his brother, then his rival, and finally, his friend again. Looking back, it's wild to think what could have been if the original Murder Inc. supergroup DMX, Ja Rule, and Jay-Z had actually come together the way it was supposed to. That could have been legendary. But even though that dream team never took flight, what really matters is how the story ended, with peace, not tragedy. DMX left behind a legacy of raw emotion, power, and truth, a legend who lived every lyric he ever wrote. Rest in peace to the dog. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of hip-hop's wildest stories, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below about your favorite DMX or Ja Rule moment. Let's keep their stories and their music alive.